ahead.
Hey.
Do grade 9 boys have a gym today for practice?
They don't.
So no practice?
We're practicing here. Our JV's got their semifinal game tomorrow.
JV?
Yeah. And I think I don't know.
What?
And I think the girls are in safety.
Checking the elders from, I think I guess 8% sure. We're all waiting in the gym. The elders are real.
Whereabouts, eh?
Testing. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, students, staff. We are, we're very privileged this morning to have our guest speaker today. He's one of our leaders, very respected elder in our community, not just our community, but throughout the country. So we're very grateful to have Wilton, good striker, come in and share with us his thoughts, his perspective on how he's living through this COVID pandemic. And I just want to remind students and staff, you can start submitting your whether it's your story, your poetry, your songs, your drawings, photographs, whatever it is you want to submit. And this isn't just students, it's staff as well. Your experiences living in this during this COVID pandemic. And you need to start making those submissions, so talk to your teachers and get them in, because we will probably be ready to close the submissions by April. So it's good to start getting your thoughts on paper or drawings or however you want to express your experience living through this, because we're all in this together. All of us are impacted by this pandemic, and it is affecting our lives. Some of us really deeply affecting our personal lives. Some of us, obviously in the community and at school. And of course, some of you have lost loved ones to this virus. So, and that's the whole purpose of this, is we're gathering together our stories for future generations. So with that, I just want to turn the time over. I'm going to give it to Leroy. He is going to give us an opening prayer, and from there he'll pass the mic over to Otokoksikinakim to give us our talk for the day. Han.
Okay.
And you've been asked to pray. And to pray. And Wilton, no gana strachkoi. Achitchona soks in the bad piece and just coach. Amok some haka tapium hitapigs, a guy the ski. And Oka used to eat ups. It's a castaka. Okitax mochtis to talk anything, Mataka new and yakins. Just a set of Oxika notices. Sitanikuna, what a cocaschiniba, so what's it about so kind? And you get a cotachica, good morning, everybody. My name is Leroy, head runner, and I'll say a prayer. I'm just saying a few things about Wilton. One of our elders is that got a lot of knowledge about a way of life, and he knows a lot. I mean, a lot. And I have a lot of respect for him, same with my elders, my wife, Dale Nixie. And I like to work in this school. It's fun. I have a lot of fun with kids. And it's good to, some of the things we need to do, stay together, love each other. You know, if we do that, we're going to be stronger. And you students, you have to learn that. Hayo nato so akan hatkin hatin katsimata kan khrisikochka. Akan sta pasaka kapuak no khanik koxinach katsimochka. Hayo kimukita na pis pomokina naki. O kamo krastinimata, kamo chapo takichaki. Achikaista pasuka piman stuattat statupiano napius. Ogemat khpepu panonapius intaskinimats lupiachisi. Jahti sapais tapio kamo chapo takiki kukkaki kaikaki matu. Kmiutsene moani tuisko. Ayo napin kas spummo kinana tiksikin mataps pinana no tatapua makapina. Ano khawasta matso kinana kinikaki suka pika no taksi pinani no kusinanix nessukusina. O kamo kita piksi akai ko khatai akai stapaki. Hayo spumosamuksaki no hattomatapaat stumes spumosaaksikasta pauistomatsiaki hadikuuta pissinikaakenik matsuapipäätopis. Ouke spummo kitaak naapits tiestistomiksaaki spummus. Ouke on hahei matsitsitsikaamataki na doaheines kannok spummu neksinis kääksaakak aatsumuikanakuk spumma. Espomstaataakik naapi kimmukin naanaaki. Okaaskaista passukaa pianuitasni maasta juupi. Okimukseupukaassana aikaa kimaka. Jaksopukseni maatsuutspo. Maadatsessa mua kissuhtik aikakäitä piisa panistis kanasa panistaskeni maatsa. Okin haamuksaskeni maatsa jaksa keikakima. Okin sitä päässekä kaapivat sitä puhtaa kaupanikaat manakumottut siis. Niin matti niitä apatsaka kaapi. Hayo naapinoks pummu kita kähtsis tjörnu. Ulse täpstiskeni maatsa. Kenik no haakkaminsto. Me sami päätä piissani kaamutaani kimma piipitsi.
Kiitos kanata. Niitä apsakakaa peukka otakaa. Maanistatsi muikahvi. Ipukanoatsi muikaan niitä siitä piopi. Oke muokitsenä mua. Akasitsiiska. Kaukso kiitakkäiksi. Ikaskin ja oke muu. Mä kujen pitääkin ja mä oon tuukiiksi, eikö oke ollut senä mua. Riikutahsiikin on kysikkuihta. Annoma tuuttaa, että se oikeaksookin nessukuusiksi itsikin aiksa vatatsupstaapihti. Mä oon tuukkiiksaakin. Ai ka ki mato ka ki bai tapi sina. Who is fluent in the Blackfoot language? Show of hands. Oh, yeah. Then I better talk Chinese. Okay, that's our people, so that way we can, all of us can maybe better understand and take a message home that will be helpful not only to our families, to ourselves, but to the community. I always try hard, and I want to commend the school here for taking this initiative to incorporate some of our traditional teachings into the curriculum here at Kainai High School. We used to get tremendous punishment every time we mentioned culture, every time we tried to speak our language. We used to get punished for, at this school, this is where I went, mission school that I went to. I was dragged over here when I was 6 years old. I knew 3 words of English, well, a little more than 3. I knew yes, no, and we had a neighbor, every time he wasn't happy with something, he'd always say, "You pig." So one day it was my turn to get the strap, and usually we had to line up in single file, take turns getting the strap. So my turn was coming up, and the guy behind me, I think he was Harry Bull, was whispering to me from the back, "Say something in English, that way they'll take it easy on you. They won't, when you get up, step up to the priest, make sure you say something in English." So when my turn came, I stuck my hand out like this and I said, "You pig." Well, they didn't take it easy on me. I really got it then. And it took me about a month to learn enough English to survive with at the boarding school at that time. So I often tell some of my non-native friends and brothers and sisters, you've been in my land for a little over 400 years. It's time you learned my language. Thank you, Leroy, for the beautiful prayer. Never forget who you are. That is the central focus of our people. We're pretty fortunate in this community here. We're probably the only community that has a full complement of all of our traditional ceremonies, societies. Kanakkaatiks, moottukiiksi, niin änskääks, johkimiehkoinimanki, viivumandos, kanatsomiteks, kakkoiks, ooginiks kaukaiks, the ladies that sponsor the Sundance. So we have a full complement. I suppose maybe due to the size of our community and our location away from a large metropolis center, they didn't totally take away, they tried. They tried to destroy our way of life, take away our ceremonies, take away our language. But because it's so strong, it kept us together, and today it's gotten really, really strong. About 100 years ago, we got hit with a pandemic, some refer to as the Spanish flu. Around the 1918 era is when the Spanish flu. Doubly difficult for our people was at the same time the government was trying to put a stop to our traditional ceremonies. Missionaries were coming in, taking away our sacred articles and taking away our ceremonies. They were taking our children, putting them into residential schools where you weren't allowed to be Indian. You had to lose your identity. That's what they tried to do. But because we are strong, we maintain. And today, as I say, we pulled through that particular pandemic. We didn't have any vaccines at the time, but we had our ceremonies. We had our way of life. We had our societies. We had our clan systems. We had many of the things that we needed as a people to survive that particular. It took a lot of our people away. But the one thing that particularly some of the grandfathers, the grandmothers, the ones responsible for ceremonies, you probably, maybe they're trying to tell me you talk too long. You probably wonder why a lot of our ceremonial people wear a scarf, why a lot of our lady ceremonial people wear a scarf. I think we invented the mask. During that pandemic, the Spanish flu, many of our people wore their scarves as a mask. Because they knew that it was airborne, it was contagious, highly contagious, so that was the way they were able to protect themselves, was taking their scarf and covering their nose and their mouth. So I think we invented the mask. About 60 years ago, I was working at a ceremony. I was one of the helpers. Makuyapi, the scraping white, was conducting it was an all-night smoke. And before the ceremony started, the old-timers were visiting. And he said to his friends and his brothers and sisters that were helping him with that ceremony, there's coming a time when we're going to lose a lot of our people. There's something that's going to hurt us in a big way. And the reason for that is our people have gone away from the smudge. People are not getting their faces painted anymore. The distance between parent and child is becoming larger. Parents are not showing their children right from wrong. So that's why it's going to hurt a lot of our people. But we'll get over it. Go back to your smudge. Go back to getting your faces painted. Bring that distance between parent and child closer. Start talking to your children, teaching them right from wrong. We'll get over it. So that's why during the height of the pandemic, you saw the societies kept going, kept doing what they needed to do in our community in terms of ceremony, sweat lodges, meetings, kukats, and the whole tribe comes together in a big circle camp. That's what we call a lot of people call it the sun dance, but it's akokats, and when the people come together in a big circle. Sun dance is only one of the ceremonies that happens there. Kamukoki. And that's what they refer to in Apikwaks as the sun dance. So when those happened, the ceremonial people encouraged them to don't back away for fear of becoming a super spreader. A lot of you, if you remember when the akukats, when that happened, we were testing people as you go into the grounds where the camp was. Everybody had to get the temperature taken. Tests were being taken. After the camp was over, there was not one case of COVID that was happening. And we were camped there for almost 3 weeks, almost a month for some of them. Sweat lodges, some of the societies that do the sweat lodges, they kept going. Kanotis is where people come together for an all-night pipe ceremony. They kept going. And that's where whoever is conducting, they'll apply the paint on you. And then everybody in that ceremony prays that this pandemic or the virus doesn't hurt our people. Pray for the families, the relatives, the children, particularly the children, the elders. So they kept going like that. And so I encourage all of you, and I want to commend Ramona and some of the staff here at the school. When we talked about the fact that people have gone away from the smudge, I think the society members, some of the elders, the staff here at the school, some of the students were involved. They decided to make smudge boxes for the community, not to force it on them, but whoever wanted a smudge box, you could have one. And I think they went to each community, Moses Lake, Standoff, Laverne, old agencies. I think somebody said there was over 700 smudge boxes that were made. So a lot of the homes had gotten back to Makokoamato Simanya. And a lot of the elders, if you go to their houses, you'll notice that they always have their little altar ready to go, their paints for people coming to ask for blessings, to get painted. So a lot of our people in that way have protected themselves from this virus that's hurt a lot of our people. During the Christmas holidays, the society, the main sacred society in our community, they have an annual celebration, powwow, feast, where they eat with all the people that come there. Some of the medical people try to stop them and say it's dangerous to bring that many people together. But they went ahead with it. And again, after the powwow, the feast was over, not one case of COVID. So they even used that evening of dancing, powwow, feast, prayers. Usually before they eat, they'll ask all the elders to come in front of them and they pray for the whole community. So in that way, we've managed to keep that virus away from our people. Some have been hit with it. We have a lot of relatives that have been affected by it. And when we do ceremonies, oftentimes you'll hear somebody coming in, so-and-so is asking for prayers. So-and-so is asking for help, whether it be in the sweat lodge, at a meeting, or these all-night pipe ceremonies. People still send requests for prayers. So the prayers that happen at those ceremonies, they're far-reaching, even if you live way over there, maybe in Calgary or down east somewhere, and you ask for prayers, and the elders pray, that prayer will work. So never forget to pray. And if you ever have the chance to go sit with the elders or go to an elder's home to get painted, do so. That will protect you in many ways. It shows you, it keeps you on the right track. Sometimes it's difficult when we're young, like you people. We all went through that, being young, and we hit the road, and there are many roads that go this way, this way, this way, and sometimes you take the wrong road. But when you go to the elders, they'll teach you to stay on the right road, the right trail, to follow the right way, to stick with people that are not going to hurt you, that will keep you on track. So it's difficult sometimes when you're dealing with friends who'll say, "Oh, you're too good, come with me, we'll do some bad things." That's when you got to maybe not listen with your ears, but listen with your spirit. Listen with your heart. The heart will never lie to you. Spirit will never lie to you. Friends might lie to you, but not your spirit. You know what to do. So sometimes it takes a lot of courage to say to a friend, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to go with you, I'm going to go this way." Or, "I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this." So always follow that little voice that talks to you and say, "No, no, no, no," when you're about to do something wrong. So I got, and never forget who you are as traditional Nichitapi. That's why we call ourselves Nichitapi, the real people. Others, they'll say, Anokitapiko, half person, or Sayapiko, belongs on the outside, although they're here. Nidapitapi, Nichitapi is who we are. You are Nichitapi first before you belong to a certain denomination, a certain religion. You are Nichitapi first. So you never forget that. And my grandparents used to tell me, don't ever let prayer confuse you. Kijijitapiko. Recognize and accept who you are as Nichitapi. Then you can do other things, but always remember who you are. So it's really, really interesting to see a school like the one here, where we used to get punished for trying to be Nichitapi. And now we're teaching it, we're sharing it with our children. I guess that was one of the blessings that came with our takeover of education. Now we are able to incorporate who we are into the curriculum. We used to get strapped for many different things. One of the first times I got strapped, I think it was in grade 1. They're trying to teach us nursery rhymes. They were trying to teach us to say Jack and Jill went up the hill. I started laughing, and they made me stand up in front of the classroom and asked me why I was laughing. I said, any fool will tell you you go down the hill to get water, not up the hill. I still got strapped, and I still say you go down the hill to get water. And the other one they talked about is later on is Winnie the Pooh. I don't know who Winnie the Pooh is, but I know the story that comes from the four-leggeds, the black bear, the grizzly. Each one of them have a story, and they have a teaching that we learn from. It's about health. Sometimes you'll see them in a dream. They're encouraging you to take care of your health. Beach Sikhs are the teachers of how we should protect our young. They're very protective of our children. They're young. And that's how we should be. We should always be protective of our young people. The child in our traditional community not only belongs to the family, belongs to the clan, your extended family. Then it belongs to the whole community. That child belongs to the whole community. So we surround ourselves around our young people. That teaching we get from Niwa, the bison. Every time there's danger or predators are coming close by, the bison will put all the young in the middle, and they circle themselves around them to keep any danger away from their young. That's how we are. That's the teaching we get from Niwa. We had the pleasure of doing a bison kill last week. Leroy was part of that. And every part of that process, there's a story and there's a teaching that I remember my brother Leroy telling the story before they took the bison down. And that was a ceremony. Before you stick a knife into that carcass, there's a process, there's a story, there's a teaching, there's a ceremony. And then every part of the bison we use, we don't waste. Every part of the animal is used. We were sitting on some buffalo robes in the elder room over here. And I was asking Dale, do you have a knife? I want to cut this tail off. We needed ceremony. So we didn't have a knife, so the bison still has its tail. So that is the teaching that I share with you, is never forget who you are. Learn. Go talk to your mom and dad, your grandparents. Ask them which clan you're from. If you go around the reserve, you notice the clans all park or live in the same place. The same way, when you go to Akokatsi, there's a place for each clan for them to camp. When you take your little tent, your teepee, always ask, where does my clan camp? Otherwise, they get pretty territorial up there. If you're parking around or camping the wrong place, they'll chase you away. Oh, it's okay, your people are over there. So that there's land disputes up there. But always go to the elders and they'll tell you where you can camp. And there's, you notice a lot of movement around there is in a clockwise direction, the natural flow of things in our world is in a clockwise direction. When we do our dances, it's always in that direction. Even when you watch your bath water go down the drain, it too follows that same direction. Deer hunters will tell you, when you scare up the deer, you never follow them, because they're just going to take you in a big circle. But if the deer goes this way, you go this way, you're going to meet them over there. And you'll bring meat home every time. So all our dances are done in a natural direction. The universe moves in that direction, the cosmos. And many of our stories come from the universe, the cosmos. Ask your parents, your grandparents, teach me some of those stories. A lot of them are part of our ceremonies. They're part of our teepee designs. There is a sacred kinship of all things. The universe, Creator's world, life, the land. When you look at some of the teepee designs that we have, at the top of the teepee is acknowledged the universe, the sky people, Creator's world. In the middle part of the teepee is the life that we're a part of. You see a lot of the animals, different animals, the four-leggeds, the ones that fly, people are all in the middle. And then we have the land, Saeski, anything that grows, we nourish ourselves. So that sacred kinship is, you'll see in many of our ceremonies. Water, we always give thanks for the water that comes from rain, snow, comes off the mountains, comes out of the ground. High respect for water. So always encourage and try and learn those very important things of who we are as a people. That way you'll never go wrong. You'll stay on track. You'll do the right things in life. And the sky's the limit what you can learn in school, no matter where you go, if you're comfortable with who you are. And then follow that spirit that tells you, go this way. Your spirit guides, and they'll never take you in the wrong directions. Like some negative friends will sometimes take you to do wrong things. Always listen to that little voice. You won't go wrong. So I got and now you'll understand why we all dance in that clockwise directions. Unless you go to the saloon or the ranchmans in Calgary, they dance the other way. Pretty soon somebody's pulling on your shirt and saying, let's go outside, see how tough you are. Because they've gone against the natural flow. And then they don't but we follow the natural ways. And so always follow the teachings of the elders, the universe, the animals, the land. You'll fully understand who you are as a person. Keep up the good work. And
thank you. Students, we're very fortunate to get teachings like this. A lot of us, some of you may not have opportunities to spend time with our elders, so consider yourselves very lucky. So you put your hand to your heart. That's how you take it all in. And so thank you, students. We want to thank our guests, of course, for being here. A lot of good teachings. I've always enjoyed listening to our elder. I've had a chance to hear him speak on many, many occasions. We've even traveled overseas together. We were at Stonehenge together, and I think we even went to see a play in, which one did we go see? In New York. He came to New York with us. We went to London, England. So we've done a lot, traveled a lot with him. He's one of my dad's cousins, so I'm very, very grateful to have him in our life. We're so thankful to have him in our community. He's always been very supportive of our schools and our young people. So students, thank you so much for listening so attentively. You guys are really, really awesome students. You guys are taking all this in, and I hope that you can take something from this to apply to your life. So thank you, students. You will be dismissed now. Lunch should be served, I believe. So if it's not out here, just go to your classroom. Lunch will be brought there. I just wanted to clarify those boxes, those smudge boxes. It was middle school that made those. But thank you for giving me credit. No, we have our shop teacher, Sam Umo, the one at the door. He taught his students, so they made a few in our shop class. But those ones that were delivered were next door. So anyway, okay, you guys, have a good day. Thank you.